So you never thought you'd hear peaceful, calm in the same sentence as temper tantrum. Yes, I know. That's because I think that most parents don't realize that we can be calm, that we can have peace, even when our child is completely dysregulated. If you are struggling with toddler tantrums, this video is absolutely for you. I am going to teach you how to stay anchored and how to give your child the space to have this very real experience that is going on for them. So let's just talk about toddler tantrums and what is going on for you as a parent. This video is not going to be how to correct your child. It's not going to be what you should be saying or what you should be doing when they have a tantrum. Rather, this is about you. And from my experience, I have a almost 4-year-old and an almost 2-year-old. So I totally get the toddler face. When I am completely dysregulated myself, when I have not first tended to my needs and instead am completely focused on making them right and on fixing the behavior, uh, yeah, things don't go so well. Their tantrums last longer. They typically repeatedly keep happening. And I don't know about you, but I don't enjoy temper tantrums, and I surely do not want them to happen more than they already do. So I hope that this gives you just some guidance on how to handle yourself and what you can do to really break through and not have to continually keep dealing with, yeah, all this stuff. So the first thing that I think that it's important that parents realize is that up until age 7, a child needs 100% co-regulation. And you're like, what? That's insane. And here's the one I said when I first heard this. Yeah, but my daughter, when she was 6 months old, I did sleep training and she slept in her bed by herself. Okay. No, she did not sleep in her bed by herself, and she was not just fine. I am now paying the price today for her constant need of um, regulation and attachment. And we had to repair that attachment because she was, I mean, for lack of better words, she felt abandoned, right? Because I wasn't able to be there for her when she was crying out. And so she just became quiet and silent. And instead of uh, crying out for me every time she needed something, she just froze and just went inward. And that's not something that I ever want to teach my children. And, I think that's where a lot of my heart comes from when I'm teaching parents about how to show up with their kids. And so I just want you to know that I've totally been where you're at, and I still struggle from time to time. I have 2 toddlers, it's not like life is perfect, but I want you to know that your child needs to be able to borrow your calm. That's why they need that 100% co-regulation. It's not that they necessarily need to be attached to you at all times, right? That's not what I'm saying. It's rather your energy, the vibe, so to speak, that you are giving off, that they are completely reliant on. And so that's why you might notice you're having a really bad day, and now your toddler's extra crazy. You're like, what is going on? Can't you just have a good day? I'm having a bad day. I've said that so many times. What the heck is wrong with you kids? And it's just that they're feeding off of what is going on for me. I like to think about it as like an invisible umbilical cord still attached. They are so highly sensitive to what is going on for us. And so I can have more empathy for what my kid is going through, why they're having a temper tantrum, when I'm understanding that I play a huge role in that. And, it doesn't mean that I don't still get frustrated, but I have much more grace, patience, and understanding for their experience, which is, I'm really confused. Mom feels off, and I don't know what to do with this. And I get that. And so I think that it's important that we acknowledge that we play a really big role in our child's or our toddler's behaviors. So When you're coming into a situation and you are starting the temper tantrum, right? You're seeing it's going down. Like, the tears are starting to roll. Maybe it's you get what I'm saying. It's that moment where you are completely triggered. Our natural instinct is to come in and let's fix. Let's fix this. Let's make this stop. Let's make the crying stop, especially if we're in public. If we're in public, game over. Right? Like, we are feeling the judgment, we are feeling the fear of what others are going to think of us. And so it is really hard for us to be completely present and be able to be there for our child's experience. We kind of want to hush it, we want to stop it. And I want to encourage you to step away from that. Okay. People are going to judge you no matter what. If you're not, out in public and you're at home, the temper tantrum isn't going to last any longer by you taking 5 seconds to calm yourself first. And so that's what I'm going to teach you right now, is how to anchor yourself. And so I just want you to think every single time that your toddler starts having a tantrum, I want you to go inward and say, where am I at? If you are like on a scale of 1 to 10, right? If you're at like a 6 or a 7, we need to figure out how to get you some calm, because your child is not going to be able to calm down and to come down on that, 0 to 10. You got 10 up here, 0 down here. They're not going to be able to come back down until you've come back down, until you've had that calm. And for me, that was the confusing part when I was actually looking into respectful parenting. It was like, how can people stay so calm and so anchored? And the truth is people aren't able to, and they're either being fake or they're not doing respectful parenting because they can't be there to just hold that space because they have their own inner world going on. So let me give you a few of my favorite anchoring tools that helps to bring me back down. So like I said, the first thing I'm going to be doing is checking where I'm at. And if I'm like really high on my scale, I'm probably going to have to do, something pretty quickly to bring myself down. And I've also tried and tested so many different calming tools that I know that what works for me and what might not work in a certain situation. So you want to try different calming tools, try different things until something feels right. It is okay to take a step back from the tantrum, calm yourself down, and then resume. Like I said, it's not going to get any worse. It's not going to get any longer, but you need to be able to be fully present. So the first thing I love to do as soon as I start to see like, okay, we're going towards the direction of a tantrum, is I do this. And sometimes it's a really slow, like if my toddler is paying attention to me and I'm trying to calm myself down, I don't want to be a distraction. So I kind of just do this kind of a thing. Doing it up here near my face, it's very helpful. It kind of just distracts me from what's going on. It's starting to warm your hands, okay? Starting to bring activation to what's going on. You can do it really fast too, if you're feeling like you need to, almost like, getting angry, I'm coming up to you, right? No, but it's really activating and warming those hands, okay? So that's my first favorite thing to do together. Now, let's say I have a few extra seconds and I'm still not feeling calm. The next part is putting it on your chest. And really, I like having a shirt that allows me access to my chest. So I can really push in, I'm pushing with pretty good pressure here. And I even enjoy rocking, okay? And my hands are warm at this point, so it just feels like a warm hug. And it's just calming me down and just kind of swaying. I encourage you to try these right now as we're kind of going through them. Just kind of see how that feels for you. I also encourage you to try these when you're not in a state of frustration or panic or whatever, because your body's not going to know what to do with it. So I practice these just randomly throughout the day. If I'm just feeling like, oh, I'm feeling a little tense right now, let me try this. So yeah, this one's really awesome. You could also do kneading of the chest. This is something that I learned with somatics, somatic exercises. So you kind of just go like this and you just really knead. If you are somebody that carries or starts to feel anger in your chest, that you really want to do this. So yeah, really get in there. And doing it when your hands are really warm is really helpful as well. The next one is, I would say, a bit more extreme, right? It would be like shaking your whole body out. And so it's literally just like, you can look up somatics, and you can look up shaking. I think it's like body shaking or something. But yeah, you kind of just shake your whole body out, and yeah, just kind of get all the ickies out. This is really helpful if you don't want to be that disruptive, I guess. You don't want to make a big scene. Because like, sometimes like we're near the bathroom, and I can pop into the bathroom real quick and shake it all out, and okay, get myself calm. And other times, we're out in the middle of public, and I surely do not want to be shaking my arms all out. Another one is just kind of shaking your hands like this, just kind of, it just feels good to just kind of shake it out, and you can kind of feel it, you're rattling your chest, and it feels good to get it out. The last one that I really love, and I tend to do this when I'm maybe not happy with something I've done, maybe I've kind of caused the tantrum, and really giving myself just this butterfly hug. You can look up how to do a butterfly hug properly, I guess, but essentially you're just taking one arm over the other, whichever way feels good, and just kind of really giving yourself a hug. And you can even massage your arms a little bit, and just bringing activation back to the body, so you're not up here in anger mode, rather, just kind of rubbing the body. You can try taking deep breaths. I found early on in my journey, it was really hard for me to take deep breaths. Another thing that you want to keep in mind is that, you want to start being able to do these things in front of your child. So you don't want to make it anything that's, I don't know, scary, or it makes it feel like, they are watching you, and like, oh, like, I don't want to watch you do that. Like, you want something that is really helping you to bring yourself down, because they're going to be learning from you how to calm themselves down. And this is crucial. Okay. This is the crucial part here, is that, yes, sometimes when I need to shake my whole body out and I feel like I need to do it aggressively, right? I go into the bathroom if I can. If I can, make sure that they're like literally right in the other room and they're safe, I can pop right into the bathroom and shake my body out. But I do want to try to calm myself down in front of them, so they know what to do when they're feeling angry. Because that is, I feel like, what the big issue is with toddlers, is they don't know what to do. And if we're punishing them, correcting them, and doing all these things to make the tantrum stop, it's not doing anything. It's only suppressing what's going on for them, and not teaching them what they can do instead of, lashing out, hitting, screaming, throwing a temper tantrum on the floor. And so the hope here is that they will start to learn different things to do. If deep breathing is helpful for you, you could practice candles. I know people have, described this before, where you go and blow out all the candles. Sometimes you go, and close your hand, and do you want to try? And they do it again, and kind of doing some of these things that you would want them to do. Another one is like dragon breath. It's kind of like a and really getting into the chest really deep. If you want to learn more about kind of anger and expressing it, Irene Lyons has so many awesome resources. I love her for learning really about the primal things of anger, which leads me to that you are feeling triggered when your child is having a tantrum. And that anger is caused by something that has gone on in your life, whether that was the way you were treated as a child, whether that is an experience that you had, that this is similar, but the body reacts based off of story and based off of facts of what has happened in the past. And so it's important that we really dive into and understand, why is this so triggering for us? Why is it so triggering for me to watch my child have a tantrum and to have these very real experiences? Why am I trying to stop their experience? I have an entire workshop on how to let go of your anger as a parent. If you are interested in that, it is $10. It is an hour long. You get a workbook to go along with it, and it is so transformational in helping you to discover, why am I feeling angry? Why do I get triggered when my toddler is feeling like they're having a tantrum? So yeah, there's an awesome resource there for that, and that link will be in the description below. Now I want to move on to, okay, you've anchored yourself, but now how do you hold space for your toddler? And sometimes, or a lot of times I should say, when our toddler is having this experience, talking at them and asking them things and trying to fix it and correct it is like, that's all they're hearing. And they're like, oh my gosh, what do I do with this? What do I do with this? And we're like, coming at them, and they just want it to just be an experience. They just want to just, I mean, how cool though that they get to feel these feelings of anger and just let their bodies express it. And I want you to remember that with tantrums, they're kind of like a wave. So if you've obviously you've given birth, probably have given birth unless you're an adoptive mama, but you kind of like go up these waves when you're having contractions. And so it's like you're going up, and you know that there's going to be a peak. You don't know when that peak is, but when you start coming down the other side, you know that you're coming down, right? That's toddler tantrums. You're going to kind of come up. You're not going to know when that peak is, but all of a sudden you're going to realize that the cries are getting calmer and softer, and you're gonna be like, okay, we're coming down the wave here, and we're exiting the feelings. And remember, tantrums are not going to last forever. They will last longer the more we're trying to fix and correct or even punish. It's gonna kind of continually keep going. And if you have said something to the effect of like, yeah, but when I've put my child in timeout or when I've spanked them, they've stopped. Yes, that is true. They will stop, and that's because they are in freeze. I do not want to suppress my child's feelings and cause them to go into freeze, because when they get older and they have an experience that causes them a lot of anger and they go into freeze, that's not good. And if you think about it from an adult's experience, we do not want any adult to be stuck in a freeze state. We want them, I mean, really, it's this safety mechanism, anger is. But I explain all that in the anger workshop. So if you want to learn more, you can learn more about that there. So the first step of holding space for your child is grounding yourself, which we just chatted about. So step 2 is letting your child borrow your calm. And you're like, okay, how do I do this? Like, what do I do? And honestly, you are just sitting there fully regulated, fully able to let your child have this experience, and maybe keep reassuring them that they are safe, that you are there when they are ready, that you love them, and that nothing could change that. And the cool part is that when they start coming over that wave that we talked about, and they start coming down, they will start hearing you. But when they're in fight or flight, they are not hearing anything. And so be expectant that your words don't matter. Also, don't worry about talking. Don't worry about what you're saying. Worry more about just being there, being fully present. Like I said, our child is so connected. They are so, what was the word I was thinking of using here? They're so in tune with how we are feeling, and that can almost matter more. You could offer a hug here. You could offer, if you're still nursing, do you need to nurse? Do you need a cup of water? You could offer those kinds of things. But when they are getting up to that peak, let's not worry about, stopping it and bringing them down. Let's just simply be there and reassure them that we are here and we're not going anywhere. And we love them, and there's nothing that can ever change that. And just kind of keep repeating those same things until you can tell their little bodies are starting to open up. So the last part of this is the actually holding that space for the experience, being okay with it within your own body. And that takes a lot of inner work, which is what I do with coaching. I help parents to actually take like situations that is going on with their child and learn how to apply all of these things quite literally. I give them the tools and the resources to be able to understand what's going on for them, to get to the root of what is triggering them, what is causing them to go into fix it mode. It causes them to not be able to be fully present. And I help them to really allow for there to be space and there to be safety within themselves and with their own body. And this is just one of the coolest experiences that I have had with clients, is getting them to this place of feeling like their toddler is not triggering them, that they are totally okay with what is going on. It's developmentally normal, and just, yeah, feeling good. Feeling like what is going on for their toddler is not affecting them, which is huge and is so life-changing when you actually can do it and you actually can have those experiences, because your day it's like just little speed bumps versus like, okay, now we've had a temper tantrum, we're at the top of the mountain and it's never gonna end, my whole day is gonna be bad. And instead it's just like, oh, we had a little a little whoop in my day, and yeah, let's get back on track. So I hope that this was helpful. If you have specific questions about toddler tantrums, how do I show up? What do I say here? What do I do? I encourage you to comment below. And I love answering these questions. They are not only helpful for me, but they're helpful for everybody, because there is somebody else who is struggling with what you are struggling with. I promise you, there always is. I'm always amazed by, I create, videos on, a specific, situation that happened with parents, and there's like 30 other people who are, emailing me saying, this happened to me too, and I can't believe this happened, and I'm so glad you did this episode. And it's like, yes, because we all experience so many of the same things, and there's so much comfort in knowing that we are not alone, that we all go through this. And I want to bring that conversation to the top. I want everybody to be able to experience that and to know that. So anyway, like I said, I hope that all this information was helpful. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single episode. But yeah, alrighty guys, I will see you in the next video.